is Johnny Wrestling, or Johnny Takeover, as my shirt says. And listen, I want you to listen. Like, we're involved right now. It's crazy. It's loud. It's hectic. We're in New York City. But I want you to listen to No Holds Barred Network.
Enough is enough. They're always taking their sides, careless and nine, plus and minus, they're divine.
Hey guys, welcome back to the No Holds Barred Network. This is episode 11 of Under the Ropes. I'm your host, as always, Tiffany, the EVP of Giggles and the Queen of the Indies. What is going on? And I have special guests, our first female wrestler. I'm so excited. Valentina, what is going on?
Nada, just hanging out, chilling.
That's good. Oh, I'm so excited for this. But all the fans were giving me crap. They wanted a female wrestler. So here you go, guys.
Hey guys.
Oh man, so we actually met in the summer, and actually,
we did.
Yes, that was the first time that we met, and that you wrestled Anthony Gangone, who's no longer a number one husband. I broke the internet, so
He's number 3.
Seriously, but. What's going on, guys, in the chat? As you know, we always do interviews. If you have questions, just throw them in the chat, and then we'll ask her as well. So, you ready for this interview?
I'm a little nervous.
No, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. It's painless. I don't buy the fans don't buy. We're good. We're just gonna showcase our good friend over here, and we'll go with that. So, as far as wrestling companies you've worked for, where did you start in professional wrestling, and how did you become a professional wrestler?
Okay, so I started training at CZW, and that's actually where I actually started. So I got into CZW through someone from high school that I knew, and he's a wrestler. I started with, I wasn't wrestling really when I actually got put on the show. I was just being a manager. And then DJ kind of threw a surprise match at me at Dojo Wars. So, yeah, that's where I started.
Oh, wow. Dojo. Everybody. I know like a lot of people that start over there in the Dojo Wars. Or can you explain a little bit, like, for maybe some of the fans out there that don't know what Dojo Wars are?
Okay, so Dojo Wars is a program to make CZW students better at wrestling, getting them used to wrestling in front of a crowd, and like building your moveset and your character. Also, I also think it helps with people who want to get into CZW. It's kind of like, I guess, an audition. Mm-hmm. I guess that's what you would, or like a tryout match, I guess you would say, for DJ to see like where you're at and what your abilities are, and to move forward into CZW.
That's awesome. I've been to CZW before. It was a bucket list of mine to like go check it out. So was it the December show? Yeah, it was the December show that I came and saw. It's pretty far out there from where here in New York. I think it's like a good
what is it, like 2 hours?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more because I'm a little deeper because I live in Long Island, so it's a little bit more. So, but yeah, it's like it seemed like the drive home that night was a lot, but we had a lot of fun. I mean, I got with our good friend Ray, who does indie talks with me, and but we had a good time. I mean, I think it's like one of the bucket lists, like another kind of like a little below, I guess, like GCW with some blood because there's so much different.
Well, you should come to Tournament at Def because that's like crazy, and that's in June, and it's usually outside. So,
oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. You should definitely check out Tournament though.
Let me get the calendar. Like I legit, like I have a planner and like I have to put in the dates. And you know what's even funny? Promoters reach out to me and they give me the dates for like the year. And they're like, Tiffany, like, you know, like you have to come check this out. So that's definitely what I guess I have to pencil on in for the summer because I'm all down to see something outside.
I'm not sure when is it. I know it's in June because it always is, but I don't know the exact uh date so far. I'll definitely message you
That's
though.
okay.
Tell you.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I have anything in the summer. No, I have something in the summer already, but that's it. So, all right, I'm gonna pencil it in. CZW. So, so we have a fan tweet. Actually, this was a good question from our friend Conrad. Everything Pro Wrestling. Who is your biggest inspiration to start your career in pro wrestling?
Um. Okay, so remember when DDP got introduced into the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
His like whole thing about never being old enough and you can start whenever. That like pushed me to do wrestling
Ooh.
because everyone starts at like 16, I feel like. So it's like, oh, I'm too old to do this now. So
I didn't know that. I think it was right. It's like 16 you could start training, but you can't like
wrestle.
officially
Like,
wrestle till you're 18. Is that what it is?
I believe so. I know Dojo Wars, I guess because it's like a student program, they will allow you to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that's legal. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Maybe it's
But
like a state thing too. I guess it has to be different
I
states as well. Maybe.
probably I know New York is different than like New Jersey
Mm-hmm.
and Philly. Like I know they all have different laws, so I don't know, but I know at Dojo Wars we've had people who are like 17
Mm-hmm.
that started. So I mean, I don't think they can be on the actual show,
All right.
you know, until they're actually 18. But I feel like if the parents allow them to wrestle at Dojo Wars, then
Right. Right.
can you legally get in trouble for that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, to be
But
honest.
the dojo wars are also like right that people can come watch those as well, right? If you're like trying out like the characters, so it's kind of like it's probably not as pricey, right? As
It's only $5,
Mhm.
and then it's $10 for a super show.
Oh, okay. Yes, Greg. He asks, "Is this the one who fought Gangone in the small room?"
Yes, and
Yes.
beat him.
She did. It's on her channel, which actually I'm gonna skip to that question because it's broken out. Like, so your match with him, you've reached 4.6 million views. Like, what are your thoughts about that? And can you tell us a little bit about that match? Like, I mean, I was there, so I mean, I have my own thoughts about that. So, but really, I really want to know, your thoughts about all of this.
I'm the views is kind of amazing because I really didn't think it was going to gather that many people to pay attention to one, me, because I'm not like well known, and two, I don't know. I just figured it was just gonna get a few views here and there, and then move on in life. So it is kind of amazing to see that it has reached the level that it has. I also think because we put a story in it
Mhm.
and it wasn't just a plain match, which works. Obviously, like I'm not saying that that doesn't work or can't get views, but I think just because like we had no ring and it was just different. Like
Yeah.
we had no ring, so we had to do something different. We had to do more than just a regular match. We went into more of a story involved in the match and try to be I like be the underdog because obviously Gangon's a little bit bigger than I am, and um, a man. So you know how that goes in the world of anything, movies, wrestling, how like if a man versus a woman, there's always that woman underdog storyline, which we wanted to try to convey across. Also, it was really hot.
Yeah. I was dying. Like the minute I walked into that place, the air conditioner was broke. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
in
It was
August, right? It was
fun. It was in the middle of August. It
yeah.
wasn't even like the ending of August,
Yeah.
which it could probably be like a little bit cooler. It was like smack, I think in the middle of August. It was sweltering. I remember just going like, wow, I cannot breathe.
You guys were the first match at least too, so it was like right after it. It was like all right, outside, and I think who was it? Joe Gacy was trying to get his match to go outside. Was it Joe Gacy or was
Yeah,
it?
I believe
Yeah, or is it Casanova?
it could have been both of them. It
Yeah.
was so hot in there. I wouldn't even be surprised if both of them didn't go outside and be like, fresh air.
it was It was bad. It was bad.
It,
It was
it started raining that day too. Later
yeah.
on in the day. Wow, I'm really high up. In the day, like it legit started raining, I believe, and I
Mhm.
wish it rained because it probably would have been cooler in the match. I
Right.
mean, like whatever. People threw water, and a lot of people were very nice and were like waving us with fans and stuff. So that was awesome because like I know they were hot. They knew we were like
Yeah.
really hot because we were in gear and fishnets and anything else you could imagine and doing ranas and wrestling and it was just sweltering.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was like a good 15 minutes or about 15 minutes to bat. It
I-
seemed like a lot longer, but oh, I felt for you guys, and I got like knocked into, and oh my god, I was scared for you because his chops are scary, man. Like, don't mess with his chops. I'm like, you
Yes.
are like, I give you so much props. Like, I mean, I don't know how many intergender matches you have been in,
A
but
few.
I was really scared. Like, I'm like, okay, I was like, I'm mixed about, like, I love like intergender and I don't like that female side of you. They're like,
Yeah.
oh god, like the guy hitting the girl or whatever. And I know it's all planned, and you know, I know he's very safe, and
A
but
chop still hurts. It
yeah, I know.
hurts. It's still across the chest, and then you're sweaty on top of that, so
Oh,
it
it
you know
hurts
how it
even
hurts. Like
more.
it stings.
Oof, God, like I feel for you. That I did. I felt
I
for you
feel
that day.
like I've done a few intergender matches because
Mhm,
at Dojo Wars there wasn't that many women
mhm,
around, so
mhm,
it was constantly like me, Layla against men.
mhm.
Um, and so I can rate the chops. So like I think Tahir,
Mhm.
his chops hurt so bad. I legit bruised.
Oh wow.
Then it's like a tie between like DJ and Gangon.
Mhm.
Like they both were like it was safe
Right.
and but it still hurt.
Of
Like
course.
I also took a kendo shot from like the DJ match, so it was kind of like I think the kendo shot hurt way more than the
Oh.
actual chop. So that's why I'm like I can't really remember how badly it hurt. And so I have to put them at the same level. Also,
Oof.
I was sweaty, so Gango like hit me, and then it was just like stinging.
I was like, oof. Like, like I felt it. I was just like, oh, I was like, I like this match, but I don't like this match. I was like, so I was like, this is crazy. So, and I've seen him in so much that his chops, they're scary, and I've seen people kind of flip on the ropes and stuff with his chops. So
Yeah, no
don't
one wants to get hit by his chops.
don't make him mad. Don't make. I don't know. I might have made him mad because I pushed him down on the list. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Was
Oh my god, I think you're okay.
is there like an intergender match that you would love to do?
Um, I if Eddie Guerrero was still alive, that would be awesome. He'd clean the floor with me though. Like he's just phenomenal.
Mhm.
I so right now, so who would I do right now? So like I would love to do a match with either like Samoa Joe or Sensei Nakamura.
Mhm.
That would be awesome.
Oh wow.
And like on I guess on I might do as both as well. Like AEW, Cody seems dope. Sammy Guevara seems also really awesome to wrestle.
Mhm.
Um,
What about Peter
I'm trying to
Avalon?
think of
Maybe.
more. I would love to tag team against Private Party because that'd be dope.
Oh,
Because they're off, they're fun.
I feel
I don't
like
know about taking that Poison Rana though. I don't know about that, but
I
yeah, they look really fun to wrestle.
I think it'd be like Peter Avalon, maybe like in AEW, and like I
Oh
know
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because like I loved him in Wrestle Circus. So I
yeah.
feel like a lot of people who watch AEW who don't know who like Peter Avalon is, I'm like, oh, you really don't know who he is. And when I went to Chicago, Full Gear, when it was in Maryland, and I talked to him, and I wasn't talking about AEW, I was talking about Wrestle Circus to him, and his face lit up, and he was like, man, I missed that promotion. But you know who else is Scorpio Sky?
Yes.
Probably. That would be really, really good.
Has Peter like wrestled that much on AEW?
No. If he has, it's been like squash match. It hasn't even been
Right,
like
right,
a
right.
lot. So I know I think he's gonna be on Dark tomorrow, so I'm interested. But I'm like I said, I'm hating a little bit the fact that he's not getting enough TV time because I know how good he is, and
Yeah.
but I think there was a bunch of intergender matches with him as well. But even I know like Scorpio Sky, definitely like that would be probably like a good one too. Greg said in the chat, Superhuman versus Valentina.
No.
So for the people who don't know you, what kind of style of wrestling best suits you?
Um, I think I'm like mixed.
Mhm.
I like to change a lot of my stuff. But I do a lot of like, I guess you would say high flying. Because I do like a Rana or like, um, a satellite like Russian leg sweep or like I'll do stuff like that. But I've been trying to do a little bit more ground move set. Because I feel like I I don't want to do a lot of the flipping or like twisting around people anymore. Like my finisher is a satellite stunner, but a lot of people can't take it. So it's like I start to change a lot of my move set. Like I feel like as a manager, I probably could do that stuff as like a run in and do like a Rana or like a satellite stunner because I've done it with like Joe Gacy, DJ. I went to do it with Gangone and then he turned it into a tombstone. So it's you know what I mean? Like so I just feel like I can do it, but I kind of want to change it up a little bit.
Um, so I've seen you've had a lot of opportunities with WWE lately.
Yeah.
Like, want to elaborate a little bit on that?
It was fun. It was fun. It was interesting. You get to see a lot of the backstage stuff, which was really, really cool. And you know, like just getting to experience it was really awesome. You know, getting your like toes wet to see like what is the next chapter could possibly be. And you know, like hanging out with a few of the indie girls that are usually doing shows was really cool and being in that experience with them. So I wasn't completely alone and in a new world by myself because that can be kind of terrifying doing that by yourself. Like that's the big league. You know what I mean? And then you're just there by yourself and you're like, I don't know who to talk to. But at least like I had a few people that I knew and it made it way more comfortable.
Did you fangirl anybody?
No, and my like Samoa Joe walked past me and I was like you know what I mean? Like it was cool. Like I really don't try to because you know like I wouldn't say they are like my co-workers
Right.
or anything like that because obviously they're in the WWE and I'm not at that level and I'm not there, but they could be at one point. So you kind of just have to see them as like they're a professional wrestler and you're a professional wrestler and you have to be really respectful.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I fangirl all the time, and it's like I think like now I'm starting to get a lot better with it that I'm not fangirling as much. But I've been to indie shows and I've seen like if they've had meet and greets, like the wrestlers, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna fangirl," or like I'm gonna fanboy a little bit to like whoever, or and they can't. And they still like try because I get it. Like you're supposed to be professional, so I'll fangirl for you.
Thank you.
So is there like is there like maybe in the future like we'll see like again? Is there gonna be like a callback or something? Like
I'm not sure. It's entirely up to them. You know, like I said, it was a really great opportunity, and I didn't expect that even come my way. Right now, you know what I mean? Like I'm still such a baby in this world, so I didn't expect it, and it was really awesome. But I don't know. You know what I mean? It really is entirely all up to them, like if they want me back or not.
That was exciting. I was so excited for you when you were like posted the pictures. I'm like, oh, I was like, that's so cool. Like, even just, you were in the conga line. Like, that was just so cool.
Fun.
like it's such a cool experience to see that. So I was really excited for you.
Thank you.
So we have another fan tweet from our boy RJ. What improvements do we as fans of women wrestling need to do to make women's wrestling better?
I think that's a really great question. So that was really awesome, guys. I think we need to treat women as I'm maybe as an equal. Like there's so many women matches that men will or women, I'm not gonna
Mhm.
discriminate against that, will say that it wasn't a good match and disregard the woman completely, like the female wrestler. But then one of the male wrestlers can have a very mediocre match and then people would still say like, oh, that was just one match, they were great, they're like really great and I love them, and they just will support them to no end, and will not do the same with the women. I think the women either have to shine almost immediately or they get disregarded. And I think that's not fair. And I think that kind of puts us in a different spotlight. You know what I mean? Like so many people can mess up so much before they get to this like level where they're completely respected and loved,
Mhm.
and women does do not have that same opportunity. It's like you have to be good right away and then people will care for you so much, or not, you know what I mean? Or if a woman botches, then it's like the end of the world. But if a
Right.
guy does, it's like, oh well, they're that's like the first time they ever did that. And I think, I mean, like it's not fair. It's like a double standard, and it is a catch 22, right? Like because obviously you want to be the best at
Right.
your game and your and like doing training all the time, but it's like why do we put women on such a higher a pedestal than men in a sense, in a way. You know what I mean? And I think we just kind of need to see both people, both sexes, as people who are working really hard.
Right.
Right.
There's a lot of hard-working women out there. I mean, Chris Statlander is one like that.
Yeah.
I've seen her a bunch of times in the indie scenes, and she's where she's at now, and I love her. Like,
Yeah, she's great.
she's you have you worked with her before? No.
I did at Dojo Wars when I was really, really new. So
Mhm.
I didn't do a lot of like I was really new and I was like, I don't really know much. But she was really awesome. She was very supportive when I was kind of like a very limited move set because like I said, I was kind of thrown in a match, I guess, so I can get comfortable because I was very nervous to even do a match in general. So I was just like, oh, you're doing it. And then I was like, okay. But with them, it was like my third or fourth match, maybe. It was her and Max Caster.
Oh wow.
And they were very sweet. They worked with me and they tried to, make me look good. And that was really awesome of them because some people could just be like, no, she's new, who cares? But
Right.
they were very great. Good.
I've seen that like in matches where the chemistry is just like not there, but you know that they're new and
Yeah.
like not care. And then I've seen the ones where they try to make you look good and but it's true. It's just as again, I guess I have a different mindset that I'll look at even somebody new and I'm like, well, give it time because you just don't know, especially if they're just starting out. You can't. You're right. You can't judge right off the bat.
Yeah.
So you need the experience. I tell that to like everybody. You need that experience to keep going. So, but
Yeah, I don't think people realize that it's very nerve-wracking the first few matches that you do to do that in front of even a bunch of like 10 people.
mhm,
That's scary because it's like,
right,
oh, look, like I can mess up and then I'm embarrassed and now what do I do?
right,
Especially if you mess up and you don't have like a big move set, then you're kind of like floating in the water, like I don't know what to do, and then you have the deer in headlights kind of look. And it's just nerve-wracking, and I think people should just be a little bit more, I guess, lenient, for lack of a better word, um, about everyone trying in wrestling. And it's like I just think newer people should just know like, oh, they're still new
right.
and they're trying
Mhm,
and they did well for what they obviously are trained. So that's just
right.
how I see it.
Yeah.
I know everyone's different. I know other people are like, oh, if you're having matches, you should be better than where you're at. And that's fine. Everyone is different.
But you got to start somewhere. I mean, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get in the ring and do what you do. So thank you. Like, I mean, really, I couldn't put my body through the stuff that you guys do. So, I mean, I wish a lot of people would think the way that I think with that sense. I don't know. I just like open mind with like a lot of different stuff. And I think it's really because of the indie scene, because everybody has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And not everybody's had the opportunity to work in dojo wars or certain schools.
Yeah.
I think the Bella twins were ones that they didn't have that they said that they were working just like in gyms and stuff, and they didn't have like the opportunities that you guys have now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's true. Everyone's school is different. Everyone does things differently. It's just, it's a skill that needs to be constantly worked at. And I think people forget that as like, as a fan perspective, you forget it, right? Because you don't know. You don't know that like this is a skill you constantly have to keep working at to get better. It's like playing guitar. You can only get better by practicing all the time.
Right.
Or like drawing. You can only get better if you keep doing it.
Right.
And like I don't think people should just be harsh on anyone. Obviously, like, hey, we're not in AEW and the WWE. We are in the indie scenes, which I mean, like, I'm not even going to discredit that because the indies is like phenomenal. Like, there's people who can do so much on the indie scenes and they don't need to go in the bigger league. But some people, they're still working their way to be at that level. You know what I mean? To have that opportunity to say, oh, I don't want to work at WWE or AEW. I still want to do indies because I can do indies and I'm really well at what I do. Indies kind of has everyone. It kind of has new people who've been doing it for a very long time, people who are really good and they're doing it almost immediately. So I just think that everyone needs to be a little bit more open-minded.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the fact of me doing these podcasts and becoming, talking with you guys and knowing people that work the shows, and I'm starting to see a lot more. Like I'm able to go into shows before they open the doors to the fans, and I'm seeing all the backgrounds. And I think that this is why like my mind's changed so much. And I always say like I really appreciate what you guys do, and like I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt because you're only gonna go up. You're only gonna go somewhere. You're only gonna get better, right? So, so come on, guys, like open mind here, So give everybody a chance. So you never know. You just don't know. And as you keep,
someone could be the next big star, and you were talking badly about them because they had like 2 bad matches,
right? It's silly, and like you said, even with the opportunities, there's so many companies, and like GCW is a huge company that everybody like follows, and there's people that just like to stay, work in GCW, and that's like a big enough platform. Impact Wrestling, like it's still like indie to me. Like I don't really even, it's not like WWE, AEW, New Japan or something, but even that, like I kind of feel it's kind of a little bit of like the indie feeling to me. So
Impact. Yeah, I mean, they also work indie, like a lot of indie promotions, don't they still? Like, I feel like a lot of them still work a lot of indie promotions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not like WWE where it's like you only work WWE, and that's a different level.
Yeah, a lot of the AEW guys are working. Like Joey Janela, I just saw at GCW the other day, and then he's coming back into the ring. Private Party wrestled. They were at House of Glory. Lucha Brothers are working House of Glory, and so it's kind of nice that, and you get that more intimate feeling. I think that's why I love the indie scene, and I become very selfish, and I don't want anybody to get signed, even though it's like, of course I want you guys to all get signed, like that's the goal. But then I become selfish because I like you guys so much that I don't want you to go anywhere. I want to come watch you guys. So who is some of your favorite wrestlers growing up?
So I loved Eddie Guerrero. I was totally a Latino geek girl. I loved China with Eddie Guerrero. I actually loved China. I never really actually say this out loud, but like realistically, I loved China as a kid. Like she was this powerhouse. Like she was great. She was phenomenal. Like people should put respect on China's name because she was freaking great. You said I could curse, but it just didn't come out.
That's okay. I was always tell everybody, just feel free.
Hardy Boys, Chris Jericho. I like Edge and Christian. I think I loved the whole tag team division at that time. It was like Edge and Christian, Hardy Boys, and Dudley Boys. It was kind of like really awesome how that tag team division was at that time. And I liked Lita, obviously she was the first girl that I saw
Mhm.
doing moonsaults and doing all that stuff, and when she was wearing the all red with Essa Rios,
Mm.
that mwah, that was great. It was phenomenal. I loved the all red look. That was fucking great. Um, and I like jazz. Like I feel like a lot of these people, mostly though, it was like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, and the Hardy Boys. That
Mhm.
was kind of my bag. That was my thing that I
Mhm.
loved the most. All that little style, and they're all very kind of similar because they kind of all do like the flashiness, and then like Eddie would do chain and stuff. So that was really awesome. I wish I was better at chain, but yeah, I loved all. I have a type apparently. Well, similar type of wrestling.
That's okay. We all have types, right? So with that being said, what's some of your favorite matches that growing up that you loved watching, or maybe even like now that you love like current?
The current one I love the most, I think I got sucked into almost immediately was remember when Sensei Nakamura and Samoa Joe was at NXT, and
Hmm.
this was I believe before Samoa Joe went to Raw, was it SmackDown? I can't remember. Before
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was leaving NXT.
Hmm.
That match I like got sucked into and was just I stood quiet.
Hmm.
My eyes were like intent onto the whole match. It wasn't on my phone or anything.
Right.
That match I like loved a lot.
Hmm.
Um Eddie Guerrero and Brock Lesnar when he won the world champion. That was awesome. And then I loved all of Eddie's matches. Like I feel like I can watch all of them and be like, these are all really great, and I can learn from them. Especially with him and like Chris Benoit. I know we don't talk about Chris Benoit, but him and Chris Benoit had great matches. And you know, I
Awesome.
love the TLC matches too.
Yeah.
Those were fun.
Yes.
I kind of get why I was at CZW now, but yeah, those were fun.
That's awesome. What's been some of your most memorable moments or like your favorite matches?
um. One of my favorite moments was going through a table from the rep.
Oh
Even
wow.
though, like, realistically, it shouldn't be, but it was fun. I was scared, like, terrified to do it, and then I did it, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is fine. I had a match with Eddie Blackwater,
Hmm.
and it was like the most Hispanic match ever. And I had a double miss, or I was throwing a double at him, and um, pasteles and all like a bunch of stuff that we were doing. Um,
Oh my god, is this on YouTube? I need to watch this.
I don't think it is. I can give you the link because
Oh
I tried to
please.
get Eddie to post it on YouTube, but for some odd reason it was like not working for him. But he
Uh
posted it on his fan page. It was on there.
oh, you gotta send it. Maybe you can upload it onto your YouTube channel.
Trying to get him to send this video, girl. Mm-mm. Like, I'm like, can you send this video, please?
We'll figure
I
it
don't
out.
want to
Maybe.
rip it off of Facebook
Yeah.
because if I knew how to do it, then it would definitely be on my YouTube because it's literally one of my favorite matches. I had so much fun, and Eddie has made me so comfortable. Eddie was one of the first people that actually would tell me that I was good.
Oh
Like he's
wow.
like, you are good. Get out of your head. Like you can do this. You're thinking way too much, and you don't need to be.
Hmm.
And he would help me a lot in training. Eddie was one of the people that like really tried to push me out of my comfort zone. Like I took a DVD on a chair, which I would have never done for anyone else. We did it with Eddie, and we just had a blast. Like there was no pressure in that match. It
That's
was
good.
always like we're just gonna go out there and have fun and do a great match, and we had fun. Like it's one of my favorite matches.
That's
I
so
do
awesome.
also love the Anthony Gangone match because another one who believed in me, who pushed me to a limit, who told me that I'm better than what I think I am, and he trusted me as well.
Hmm.
And obviously, look how many views we got. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like his help as a person in wrestling hopefully made me become a better wrestler. Um, so those were one of my favorite matches. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so excited. But yeah, we're gonna. So if anybody knows how to rip this off of Facebook, hit us up so we can
Me,
put it onto our YouTube channel.
teach me.
So who has been like a favorite, wrestler or wrestlers that you've worked like with? So is it pretty much everybody you said, or maybe there's somebody else, or
Yes, who else did I like working with that I said I would do it again? I would love to work with Leroy again
Mhm.
because me and Leroy had a match at Dojo Wars,
Mhm.
and that's where he first did the switch.
Mhm.
Thing that he's doing now. He asked me if he can use the switch in the match, and I said, yeah, I'm all about people being different and
Mhm.
creative. I'm about it.
Right.
But like I said, I was still really new, and so like those matches, like I had a match with Jimmy Lloyd, which is on my YouTube,
Mhm.
and I was like, that was my first match that was longer than like 5 minutes, and it was so much to remember. So it was like nerve wracking. And then Leroy, I wish we had a longer match. I wish I had a better move set at that point, and I wish that we can do it again. Like it was so much fun to work with Leroy and relaxing.
Mhm.
Even with Jimmy, it was relaxing, but I was so nervous because it's Jimmy Lloyd. You know what I
Right.
mean? And like he asked to wrestle me,
Mhm.
and it was just like, this is Jimmy Lloyd. I have to be good.
Mhm.
That I like put so much pressure on myself. That I couldn't enjoy it as much because of the fact that like I put a lot of pressure on myself for that match to be good or even remotely decent. Because remember, I wasn't consistently doing matches on Dojo Wars, and I was more of a manager, so I was doing that. So a lot of those matches were more like, here's a match, here's a match, like to get me more and more comfortable.
Mhm.
So even with Leroy, it was like to get a little bit more comfortable too. And I was supposed to wrestle someone else, and they bailed. I can't even remember.
Oh.
I believe they were a hog guy.
Mhm.
And then Leroy took the spot, and that was really awesome because I knew of Leroy,
Mhm.
right? Because I've met him, not met him, but I saw him in passing
Mhm.
one time. So this was my first time ever meeting him and then working with him. And then it was different because he had a switch, and then I was terrified because I'm like, oh my god, what if we break the switch? And the switch is like $300,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be able to buy him a new one because I'd feel dreadful if his switch broke and I broke it. I would be like, I have to buy you a new one.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, there's no way I can allow you to go on without a new switch.
Right.
But yeah, I really wish I can work with Leroy again. And I wish that match was out because
Yeah.
even though it's like very basic for both of us, it was still it was the first match where
Right.
the switch gimmick,
Right.
the wrestling term, was used ever. And I would have loved for it to have been out.
I hope they put it out. I was like, I saw you guys like tweeting, like, can we get this out? And so I hope one day, because I would love it, or a rematch. Like, I would love it. Book
I
it.
would love a rematch, yeah.
One of my booker friends, can you make this happen, please?
I'll do Leroy.
He's so awesome. He was the second one on the podcast as well. I love Leroy. He's like one of my dear friends. It's so funny. Like I go whenever like he's at one of the shows, and it's just, I think one of the shows I went to, they planted him in the crowd, and I think they thought that nobody was gonna know who he was. And
It was
then
Capital, right?
what? Yeah, it was Capital. And like everybody, it was like me and a whole bunch of people. We were screaming like "Switch Kid," and we started chants. It was like, "Oops, sorry." Like,
There's no way there's no way. He got so much attention with doing the switch at the Evolve show, no? There's no
Yeah.
way that they
Yeah.
thought that no one would know.
Oh yeah, he went so viral, especially in New York. Especially that the Evolve was here in New York.
Yeah.
And then you put him places in New York, and New York is like one of your biggest pops for wrestling. I mean,
Yeah.
Jersey is too, but especially like New York. So,
New Jersey at places because like where Synergy is at, there is like no other wrestling.
right.
It's just Synergy.
Mhm.
And then like South Jersey where CZW, H2O and all
Mhm.
them reside, there's a lot of
Right.
wrestling there. There's a lot of wrestling in South Jersey.
It's
So
just-
like in the Central Jersey, there's like nothing other than I believe Synergy, and there's probably something else? I remember seeing banners or posters for stuff in Central Jersey at one point, but I don't remember the promotion, so
Mhm.
sorry.
There's so
But
many promotions in Jersey. So
yeah,
many. I'm
and
always in
then
Jersey.
up north, I don't really know. I think there's Pro Wrestling Magic
Yeah, that's where
and
like a lot of them are. Violence and Suffering,
yeah, that's
Battle
more
Club.
up north because
Yeah,
that's like in Ridgefield, which is
yeah,
like kind of up
hmm
north.
yeah.
Um,
ICW has gone there a couple of times.
yeah.
So, but there really is like I feel like not because there is a lot here in New York. But I like every weekend I feel like I'm driving. I feel like I'm gonna have to move out to Jersey because there's just so much wrestling, and every weekend I'm like, okay, get the easy pass going because we're going to Jersey to go see this one or that one. But I'm always driving to Jersey. But tri-state, yeah. Then you got Pennsylvania, and then there's stuff in Connecticut, and
There's a whole hotbed in Pennsylvania, like, because Pennsylvania is huge. So there's wrestling all over that state.
I've only been to Excellence in Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
That's when Gangone and Quinn did their last match
Yeah.
together as tag team. So I went to just go check out that show. I know the tag team main event was talking to me about PBW. So that's on my bucket list as well that I
Yeah.
would love to check out. But man, indie scene is crazy.
Yeah.
It's
There's a
so
lot going
crazy.
on.
Oh man, I could like go to it like a probably a random state and go find something
You probably
somewhere.
could. In all
It,
actuality, you probably could go to Idaho and find
yeah,
something
or
out there.
Utah or something like states that you wouldn't even think.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, guys. Like, tag me on Twitter if there's like other companies because I would love to even like check it out, even their like their pages and stuff. So, but so we have another fan tweet from our friend Charles. Who is your dream opponent and why?
Um, like, ever?
Ever
um,
like
I feel like I would say Eddie. I feel like I'm such a like rinse, wash, and repeat girl. Eddie girl would definitely be my dream opponent. I will say Lita as well. I know she doesn't really do wrestling anymore,
mhm.
so that would be cool. I guess I'll put more females because I kind of always do intergender stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about more female wrestlers.
Well, whatever you
Um,
want. Go for whatever you feel.
um, well, you know, girl power and all.
Yeah.
Um, and I believe like AJ Lee would be awesome. Also, there's so many women that like I would love to work, and then anytime I get asked this question, my mind just runs a blank. Like literally, I'm just like, yeah, sure, that was it. Yeah. Oh my
What
God,
about
my
Tessa
brain.
Blanchard? Now that she got the title, what do you think about that? You and Tessa?
That'd be cool. I mean, uh, that's that's a hotbed of a question
Oh,
there,
I'm sorry. I
girl.
didn't mean it like bad. I was just like she's great in the ring and like
No, she is. I know she was supposed to work WSU for a while, but I guess they just couldn't work out the
mhm,
dates.
mhm,
So that'd be really cool to actually ever work with her.
mhm.
I know she's like really she's one of the best
Right.
out there right now. And even with all of the other stuff going on.
Well, I don't even like think about that. I mean, I'm as a
uh,
wrestler, like like
as a
as a
wrestler, she
wrestler,
is
yeah.
one of the best. She's
Yeah.
not like, you know what I mean? Like there's so many great women wrestlers out there
Right.
before her and now and even probably afterwards.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would love to wrestle, her. I think it would be a great learning tool for me in
Mhm.
general
Mhm.
to work someone of that
Right.
stature.
So awesome. Yeah, she's definitely great. I'd love I just saw her versus Nick Gage. So it was the first time I saw her. No, it wasn't the first time I seen her live. It was the second time because I seen her at House of Glory. She came to House of Glory.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just saw her with Nick Gage, and I was like, oh my god, she's gonna die. I was like, she's gonna die. But no, she's definitely awesome. But so is there like a promotion that you would love to work for? Like maybe even like now, and then maybe like future wise, like goal.
Goal. I would just like to work more places. Like I would love to eventually work at Beyond. and WWR, and try to move into that scene because I feel like that scene's really big, and a lot of people who work there are great, and it would be awesome to at least do it once or twice just to say that I did, and just to be able to wrestle a different it's not a different style, but just to work different people. I mean, I worked Alex Reynolds before, but that was at Outlaw Wrestling. He was great. He was very sweet, even though I know his character is not. But he was a great person to wrestle, and he's way more experienced than I am, so like he worked with me as well. So it was awesome. I really would like to work in that area because it is a hotbed for people advancing and people getting well known off of that promotion.
Yeah, Beyond is great. I love watching Beyond. I was here with a bunch of friends on New Year's Eve, and we were watching. We were just like, "Hey, we're instead of watching the ball drop, we're watching Beyond Wrestling. Like, forget the ball drop, we're watching wrestling." So, but yeah, that's a bucket list too for me to go to go watch. There really is a lot of amazing talent. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I went to a WR show once because I just wanted to, like help set up the ring and be there. It was really cool to see all the women just work together, and they were all extremely like friendly with one another, and like everyone helped set up the ring. It wasn't just like, oh, like look at these young girls here who aren't on the show. Like everyone helped out, so it was a great environment to be in.
That's awesome. Oh, bucket list for me. Let me write it down. Another promotion that I gotta go like try maybe 2020 sometime. Okay, so I ask every person that comes on this podcast this question because everybody's got a crazy story. Okay, so what's been the craziest thing a fan's done to get your attention?
Okay, so not in person. Everyone's been very cordial in person to me, and I think that's always because I'm around a bunch of dudes. So like no one tries to be
fresh,
crazy. Yeah, I'm always around a bunch of guys. I was a young, dumb, and broke, so it was all dudes. And like people would be scared to even buy promo pictures for me because I was like with them, and I'm like, come on, guys. It's mostly on the internet that I get a lot of the crazy kind of attention thing, but never really in person. I get a lot of weird questions.
The keyboard warriors. I call them the keyboard warriors. I call them. They're all talk behind the keyboards.
Oh no, I usually don't. Honestly, like I usually don't get those either. It's the other ones that I like.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I get them too.
I feel like for a while I wasn't, and then like you will, and then it happened, and I was like, oh, okay, thank you for putting the voodoo on me. I didn't want it. Yeah, but I've never had, like I said, never in person. Everyone's been super, super cordial to me in person. Maybe now that I put it in the air that this never happened to me, it will, and I'd be like, oh, great. Now I have a story to tell.
I'm sorry. I hope it doesn't start anything. No. No, it's crazy some of the stories that a lot of people have told me between pizzas being thrown at referees and nudes and was it
called? I've gotten nudes in the DMs.
Yeah.
I never, like I said, never in person. I think someone tried to get my attention at CEW, but I was just like, I'm not gonna pay attention to you because I don't know what you're trying to do, and I'm not about that. I wear like small hot pants. Come on, like we all know what's gonna happen once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, no, but never really in person. It's always been just on the internet. I've gotten some wild messages that I'm like, well, this is life now. I'm like the dog. The meme, the dog, where he's like the living room's on fire, and they're like, "This is fine. That's me. Like, I'm okay."
I feel you. I get them too. I've been getting like the DMs lately, and what makes it worse is some of the wrestlers. But anyway, so we're gonna go forward. So before like, because I want to talk about shows that you're working going forward, but my last question that I have, I mean, if anybody has anything in the chat, just drop it into the chat. But my final question is, so as we finish this off, to all inspiring or amateur wrestlers out there, what's some advice that you would give them?
I would say to not allow people to bully you, disrespect you, stand your ground, be respectful, but stand your ground. If you know that this is how you fundamentally, it's against your rights, your beliefs, your morals, then don't do it. You don't ever feel pressure to do something that you don't feel comfortable doing. And be confident in every decision that you make.
That's good advice. Good advice. I love everybody gives different advice, and it's always humbling. So, but so yeah. So let's talk about some of the shows that you're going to be at coming soon.
Yes.
So I have it all posted. So we got some CZW and BWF and what's the other one? I'm sorry. What's the company? Titan.
Yeah.
So
CZW is happening in February, which I'm really excited for. There was a lot of story that happened in the last show, and then there was this big break. So you never know what me and Gangon is about to run up on everyone. You don't know what's gonna happen at CZW. Titans, I believe it's a tournament. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. They believe it's a tournament. I know a bunch of women. It's an all women's show. I know that their following day is like a mixed show, but I know that show is an all women's show, which I'm really excited for because that's like a debut for me. And I love working. I would love to work more women wrestlers because, like I said, I'm usually the intergender girl.
Right.
Even in promotions, they'll just put me in an intergender match. I think it's because of the Gangon match, obviously, that got so many views. But I would love to actually work with other females because, eventually when you move into the new chapter, like I said before, you're mostly only doing female matches. And the last one's a charity match. A charity show that's going to happen in February as well. And I really hope everyone goes out there because it's for a great cause. And I think a lot of charity shows should get more attention.
Oh yeah.
Because we do wrestling for us and to entertain people, but I also would love for wrestling to be more of a changing the world as well, or at least helping the world.
Right.
I hope I can do more charity shows because all in this world, all we got is to either make it better or to do nothing. So I kind of wish we all make it better.
That's going to be a great show. I did get my tickets for that show today. Yes.
Are you excited for your husband's ticket?
You don't even know the war that went on today on Twitter. Like, everybody was having way too much fun with me with, well, now it's number 2 and number 3 husband. Yeah. So Ace Andrews is like, Tiff, you should be the referee of this match. He was like, and then Danny Nemesis was another one that I have to have come on the podcast because he does amazing artwork and he works for actually with a lot of the wrestlers as well, like with the gear that he uses, the sketches and stuff. He was having a field day today and he was like, he's like, Tiffany, he was like, I can imagine your face. He was like, during that match, he goes, if you were the referee, he was like, I am going to go hit up the promoter. He goes, and make this happen. I was like, stop. He goes, every time he goes that somebody goes for the pin, he goes, you hesitate. He was like, or your faces when one of them gets hit in the face or whatever. But
you gotta be rough now.
Oh God. Oh my God. I don't know. Like, I've done commentary. I've chopped wrestlers. Like, what is this the next thing? Gonna be like a referee from? I can't. My heart's not gonna be able to take it. But I am coming with a crew of people. Nice. So get ready because I'm excited. And I'm so excited that I get to see you in the ring again. So I feel like, I saw you at CZW, but I haven't seen you in the ring since you and Gangon.
Yeah, in a ring.
Yeah, in an actual ring too. So I'm excited, and I'm very familiar with Karen and Vanity. They're great.
They're great girls. I've worked Vanity before, and she's awesome. So I'm really excited for that match because I love Karen. I think Vanity's awesome. I haven't worked Gemma Cross. We were supposed to work a few times, but stuff happens. I would love to work Gemma, and I know the other girl. She's in B. She is a BWF girl. No,
Yes, 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 yes.
I think I've probably I've been to BWF.
Mhm.
I've seen her, I believe, a few times. So I'm quite excited to see how that match will go
Mhm.
because I've never worked her. I mean, I've never worked Karen either.
Mhm.
The only person I legit worked out of that whole group was Vanity.
Mhm.
So I would really like to see the mix
Mhm.
that's going to happen there. Also, all women of color. So
Yes.
that's
I
awesome.
love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I got front row. So I feel like, my friends, they're plotting. They want to make signs. So we got to make you a sign. So I got to make this
You don't have
happen. We're going all out. So just get ready because my crew, we're loud. So,
I
like,
love it. I love it.
'cause
I need loud crowds.
yes. I've gone to those indie shows where it's dead, and I try to start the crowd up, and it just doesn't take. So I
Yeah.
have to come with my own crew. So get ready because I'm gonna preach for you. So we're like, we're gonna root for you. You already got a fan, so I got your back. And then my friends like don't know pretty much, especially a lot of them that they just started getting into the indie scene, so they're just
Yeah.
gonna go whatever I go.
Yay.
So, so don't worry, I got you back. I mean, I'm gonna cheer for Karen and Maddie, but my money's on you. So, so I'm excited. So again, yeah, I'm really excited. So I did get to buy the tickets, and like you said, it's for a cause. I'm all about the charity events. There's so many charity events. I've been to so many. It's a good thing.
I
So
love it.
it's great.
I hope there was more. I
Yeah.
feel like I wish I was on more.
Right.
Like, yeah, I love the idea of wrestling trying to make the world better.
Right.
Because, wrestling is like the world stepchild
Mhm.
of entertainment business. So if we can put our stamp in the world to make it better, then
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
It's great. Full Faith Wrestling's another one. That they do charity as well. So I think they do it like they had like 3 shows. I think I've gone to 2 out of the 3. So I'm going to the next one. I think that one's February 1st, but that's another one. But there is it's great, or they'll run for a cause, or they'll do raffles and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, again, indie scene is great. So I'm all about the charity. What did you tell me, charity? That's it. I'm done. I'm there. Okay, I'll be there. I got your back. Like, absolutely. So, but yeah, so I guess that's it. I mean, you want to tell everybody where they can find you? I mean, I put all your links below. So if you guys, want to get her, you can click on the links below. But tell everybody where you're at.
I am kind of all over the place. I very rarely use Facebook. I mean, you can add me there. I will definitely add you, but I'm like not on it at all. And it's Valentina Vasquez on Facebook. You'll see it's the same picture that you guys used
Yes.
to promote me. And my Twitter is different from my Instagram. I'm horrible at this. I'm
Sorry, threw you under there.
totally horrible at promoting myself. How am I even a wrestler? Who am I? Twitter is Val _ EN _ and Tina _ and Instagram, I believe it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same
Oh no,
thing with
it's
a
pretty
V.
much the same thing, but the underscore with the V with my last name in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So go give her
I'm
some
horrible
love.
at promoting myself.
That's why I put it in the description for you guys as well. So don't worry, go give her some love. So she's awesome, and so hopefully, like, I mean, you can see the CZWs. They're on Fight TV, so you can go like pay-per-view those, and then go subscribe to what's the YouTube channel? It's actually the
I believe it's the same. I believe it's the same as my. I told you, girl, I'm horrible at this.
Just go search for Valentina. If you go search for the the match of Valentina versus Anthony Gangone, you're gonna find it because it's like 4.6 million views.
Yeah,
so you'll find
my
the
thing is
page.
Valentina Vasquez, so you'll find it that way too.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you put me against Gangone, definitely
Yeah,
like
it's gonna pop up. I mean, there's a couple of videos, but you'll see her actual YouTube page. So
Yeah.
actually, Kyle's in the chat, and he said he wanted to thank you for coming on as well. So
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry you came so late. I would love to talk to you, but I know you're busy. It's all good.
But yeah, so thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. It means so much to me, and it was nice chatting with you. And of course, I always support you, and I hope that everybody else goes and gives you some love and gives you some support as well.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be on the show, and I'm excited because oh, she has so many people on. I would love to be on, and then you randomly messaged me, and I was like, oh my God.
I know, because I always when I do see you, I was like, I have to come and give you a hug, and we have to go take a picture together. So I was glad because we kept missing each other,
Yeah,
or I
for a
booked
while.
yeah. Yeah, I was like, where are you booked? Or if you were booked somewhere, I have something else planned. That's why it's
Yeah.
people gotta start telling me way in advance. Ray said when he gets back into the ring that he's gonna, because we always joke around with Gango that if Gango says to me, he goes, this is kind of special to me, and I'm like, all right, I don't care where it is, I'm going. So Ray was like, every match I'm gonna tell you it's special. He was like, so your ass is in the chair, and I'm like, all right, no problem. So if there's something, that's all you gotta say to me is okay, Tiff, this is the one, you have to come. And I'm like, all right, pencil into the book. But again, I'm so excited. So next month, definitely, I will be at that show. I'm looking forward to it. And posters, glitter, get ready for the screaming, and me and my friends losing our minds for you. So
I'm excited. I love glitter, so I'm
oh
excited.
God, okay, so I'm really gonna bring glitter now.
Just throw it at me. Yes, glitter.
The promoter's gonna hate me for the cleanup after you're banned from ever coming here ever again. So I'm sorry, my husband's and all this stuff, I can't. So hey, maybe I'll be the ref, right, for that match. We'll see.
Yeah, be the ref.
So,
Be the ref.
but anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe to the No Holds Barred Network. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at Loves to Dream 82. And to the next episode of Under the Ropes, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.